Welcome to Mock Draft Monday. We got to figure out what the Chiefs are going to do with all these picks. Do they stay steady or do they move around? We're going to get into today on Locked On Chiefs.
From the land of the free and the home of the Chiefs, this is the Locked On Chiefs podcast.
Welcome back, friends and neighbors. This is Locked On Chiefs, part of the Locked On podcast. We are free for you on every platform, all the time, every day. That includes YouTube, where you can like, sub, and hit the bell, as well as the audio platforms where you can get subbed and even leave us reviews on Spotify and things other like that. Welcome. I'm Ryan Tracy, the founder of Rogue Analytics and Performance Consulting, the home of the Athletic Matrix, and soon the 22 NFL Draft Guide that is coming this week. Check out that and use the code Locked On. You can get yourself a nice discount over there. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Ryan. I'm Chris Clark, founder of Chiefs Corner, and you can find it as it says kcchiefscorner.com. Had a couple of articles come out this weekend. Have another one dropping shortly after this. We'll post on YouTube tomorrow around noon. I'm going to have an article post talking about what the cost of the Chiefs QB room is. Going to get into that. So let's go ahead and jump into the draft. I did a couple of drafts over on Chiefs Corner. If you haven't checked that out, go check those out. A lot of stuff going on there.
I will say this. The top two needs, in my opinion now, are the edge, the corner, followed closely by the wide receiver. So my question to you is, do we want to work something to trade up into the top 10?
No.
No? We want to stand pat, or do we want to trade it all to begin with?
I think we'll just go with seeing what we can get with these picks as we are.
Okay, here we go.
I did a mock draft earlier. And got Chris Olave at 30.
I like it.
Interesting.
Now, here's the first offer. The Texans wanting out of 13 for our 29, as well as 62 and a couple of sevens. Does that interest you?
What's available?
That's pretty rich for my blood. Let's find out. Right now, Jameson Williams is on the board at 13. That is the number one thing. My number one wide receiver, Garrett Wilson, is there as well. Looks like the edges went pretty quickly. Karlaftis is the last one back. He could fit into Spag's system. I'm not a big fan myself. Ajabo and Mafe are there as well.
I would be tempted for Jameson Williams at this point.
You want to pull the trigger?
Might as well.
Okay, so that is for 62. So we're giving up one of the seconds. I think we can live with that, but I'd like to get something else back, wouldn't you?
You can try it. Fourth. They're not going to do a third. You can try a fourth.
We'll see. I'm giving up all the sevens here. In this scenario, the Texans accept that. So we did get a third back, which puts us on the board right now. And people trying to trade back in, we're not going to do that. We want to select Jameson Williams, yes?
Yep. Draft him.
Mission accomplished. Now, he was one of the few people that I could see trading up for. That is such a unique talent that it's not a complete replacement for Tyreek Hill, but I think it gets something done. Now, this is another offer to move back a couple. I'm just going to say counter for now so we can take a look at the board as we are on the clock. At the Chiefs' original pick at 30, Treylon Burks is there. Boye Mafe is still here. Looks like Ajabo has gone just 2 picks ahead of us to the Packers. So the best available edge is Boye Mafe.
Yep, I take Mafe and run.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that as well. Moving back to the first pick of the second day, I think it might cost you Mafe.
It could. So I just take Mafe and...
Okay. Boye Mafe to the Kansas City Chiefs. So shaping up to be a really nice first round. Texans again want to move out of their second pick at 37. They want both of our thirds and a future fifth.
Pass.
Yep. Do you want to even look at who's there?
No, let's just pass and go.
Okay, fair enough. Same thing with the Jets. They want to move from 38 to 50, and they want one of our fourths to do it.
What's there?
Yeah, let's take a look. Perry Winfrey, Nakobe Dean is here, has fallen into the top of the second day, and I think that's very, very plausible, to tell you the truth, as is Quay Walker, who I think in terms of a projection might be nearly on par with him. I like where this ranking is sitting right now. Tyler Smith, the offensive tackle. Ebiketie in the mid-40s. That's just slightly out of where I have him, so that's a decent one. With getting Williams, you don't need Christian Watson, so I don't think we have to push that one there.
Okay, so so Dean or Walker, do you think either fit what Kansas City needs a linebacker?
I think they both do. I would prefer Walker because he has the size to play in the base, but also I think will have the ability to play in the nickel eventually as well. He is a much rawer athlete, not as much experience. So that is a depth piece for the nickel, and I think that's okay.
Pull off pull it off and let's go.
Okay.
Not gonna have a ton of picks in this draft after trading away already.
Well, that's fair, and that's all right. I can live with that. I might even be able to get a fourth back so we don't lose a pick. Let's see what happens here. And we did get that done.
Okay.
So for a swap of fourths, we swapped seconds. It's not necessarily plausible, but we're going to go with Quay Walker here above Nakobe Dean to get the Chiefs another linebacker that, frankly, was at the top of what was available. And a lot of folks are going to say, well, that's not a value pick. No, it wasn't. He was the best of what was available there. It was not a specific edge pick of what the Chiefs were needing at the time. So we're working our way back down here towards 80. I don't think we should trade again. So we'll let this run to 80th. And I think this will give us some options. And options are one I want. Thank you for our title sponsor in BetOnline, but also to Athletic Greens. You guys got to check this out because it has everything you need to make your life easier. And I started taking it because I needed an easier way to get my nutrients. There's over 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, as well as probiotics and adaptogens. It helps your gut health, your immune health, all your digestive enzymes. It's simple and it's really easy. All you got to do is take one scoop of this powder, put it in a cup of water, maybe 12 ounces if you want, give it a shake, and you're good to go. It's easy to drink. It goes down smooth. And I only just take that before my coffee. And it helps us get all the stuff out of there. There's no GMOs. There's no sugar, less than 1 gram. And it's less than that cup of coffee if you stop at Starbucks or any other coffee shop. It is really the key to getting everything that you need in a really small package that makes your life easier. And right now, to reclaim your health and your immune system, it's convenient and it's daily, and it's very simple to do. Just go to Athletic Greens. It's going to give you a 1-year supply of the immune-supporting vitamin D, as well as 5 free packets of AG1, the main product. And all you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NFL network. That's athleticgreens.com/NFL network to take ownership of your health and your daily nutritional insurance. Now, the other thing that you could do is take insurance out on what's going to happen. Rock Chalk Jayhawk stuff's going to happen here Monday night. You might as well put a little money on it. And then we can get back to football props and everything, Masters championships as we go along. But right now, there's a lot of money on the line. There'll be no crying. There'll be no crying. For those of you, my Carolina friends, Coach Ration, all of you that we were together at KU, congratulations. You just have to lose by 1 point. That's all that matters. BetOnline is a good industry for all of your wagering information, the live betting, the podcast, the daily updates, all the information you need to put your money on the line in a smart way. You can check it out from any device, including your mobile, and that's over at BetOnline, where the game starts. So as we've ticked down here, we have gotten ourselves to pick 80, which was a trade. And what we've accumulated in the concept there is Jameson Williams. We traded up to 13 to get him. Got Boye Mafe at 30. Came back with Quay Walker at 38. So filled that defensive middle tier. Somebody else to help Willie Gay and Nick Bolton. I like that. Now we're on the clock at 80. And we have some options. This is where the running backs start to come into play. Not something that I'm looking for, but we have an additional edge in Drake Jackson that I think is a guy that has a lot more upside than what he's shown to this point in his career. He could be an option. Nick Bonito is an underrated 3-4 type pass rusher, but at the end of the day, in substitution packages, he's going to be standing up anyway. You can use him as a QB hunter in your sub package, and I like that usage for him as well. He can eventually grow into somebody that I think might be able to man the 4-man front. Let's see. There's Cole Strange, the interior lineman. He's got a good grade.
I'd still be looking at Drake or the edge earlier.
At Drake Jackson?
Yep.
Double dip there and get another developmental source. At the cost of some corners that are on the board, I think you can get some value there later. The Fayetteville, Josh Williams is there. Cam Taylor-Britt from Nebraska is there.
Where's our next pick after 80?
It's going to be 103, I believe. No, I'm sorry. It's 94. So even better. 14 picks from now.
Yeah, I think we can still get a corner later.
Okay. Drake Jackson, welcome to Kansas City. That is going to do well for us. Let's see. The Cowboys wanting back from 88, swap some picks. I don't know if there's anybody worth, but we'll take a look. Desmond Ridder, Carson Strong still on the board. That's crazy that Desmond Ridder is here at 88. That's nuts. Nothing's really changed for the corner group, I don't think. Let's take a look. Ken Taylor Britt went and Josh Williams did go. We still have Emerson, Michael Wright. There's some developmental corners on here that I do like. So we have some options there. I'd say we stand pat.
Yep, I'm good with that.
Okay, we will resume that. We're going to get down to 94. So, and it skipped right past us. But I will tell you this, folks, for those of you that are very excited, once again, the mock machine decided to skip right past one of our selections, but they didn't think I think guys are really going to like it until James Cook, the running back, the speedster from Georgia that can be an extra speed punch in this running back field with Rojo and CEH. We'll just have to get him some kind of abbreviation for his name.
Go back to our picks so far. So if I'm correct, yeah, that's what I was thinking. We have what? Three guys players. Three guys that play in the national championship game.
Correct. And that is something to consider. When it comes down to it, that is a nice thing to have. Now I'm going to try to turn this thing back on so that we actually make our pick at 103. We'll see what happens. Okay, good. And it's because we got offered a trade, and that's from the New England Patriots wanting to come up a whole round. I'm going to decline that because I won't help the Patriots, period. So now we're in a place where we have a lot of directions we can go here at 103, the last of the top 100 picks that we had. We could look to go something like a lot of good edges here that are developmental. Man, I really like D'Angelo Malone, you guys. In the real world, look for him in the third or fourth, and that's something you could do. Running backs off the board, and there's a lot of value right here at running back. There's also some value at tight end. I can't see necessarily doing that. So what do they need to add still? Still need some safety help. Still need some corner help, right? Damari Mathis can do both. He is on the board here, as is Nick Cross, who is a safety first, safety only. Brian Cook is still underrated on this board, and he will be available here down the line as well. I don't know how many picks we have left, to tell you the truth. Let's verify that. If it'll let me.
It doesn't look like it's going to let.
Okay, so we have 103, 117, and 121 is all that we have left now, which I'm perfectly fine with. If this is the way the real world works out and the Chiefs don't select after the fourth round, I'm perfectly happy with that.
Yeah, I don't need 4 seventh-round picks.
Right, exactly. So safety, we have a couple of options. Corner, Jalen Watson is an underrated corner from Washington State that here in the third round I think is perfectly legit. Kobe Bryant is a better player than that. In the real world, I don't expect him to be here. We have to take that into consideration. We did the wide receiver. We've got the edges. We got a linebacker.
I'll defer to you on the corner. Take the corner you want.
Okay, the corner that I think best fits is either going to be Emerson or Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's the better player overall, so I will take him. Another player that was in the college football playoff. So we're continuing the theme here in a year that has low quarterback value. We're taking players that were in the national championship or in the hunt for it. We saw Job go off, Damari Mathis. And they were back on the clock at 117, and we could double dip there. Isaac Taylor Stewart's still out here, another long, tall corner. Monteric Brown's interesting as well. We have the safety. Nick Cross is still there, somebody that could get in that. Brian Cook, another Cincinnati player that is criminally underrated on this board, in my opinion. As for the tackles,
who's the box safety? Who's the box safety that's left?
The box safety is Brian Cook.
Take him.
Done. Brian Cook from Cincinnati. Welcome to Kansas City. Now, 4 picks later, we are back on the clock at 121. This is the final selection, and then we're going to wrap it up in the next segment.
And before we get there, I want to tell you about our friends over at Built Bar. If you've not checked them out yet, you definitely need to check them out. Try the puffs. They're absolutely fantastic. Any of the flavors of the puffs that they have out there, you absolutely need to try them. Coconut marshmallow, banana cream pie. They are very, very good. All Built Bars are covered in 100% real chocolate. Yes, that's 100% real chocolate. They're low calorie, high protein. Replace your candy bar with these. They are better. A typical candy bar can have anywhere between 200 to 300 calories, where a Built Bar will have 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, and 17 grams of protein. Mint brownie, coconut almond, and new for this month, white chocolate cookies and cream. They are all very delicious. You need to try Built Bar if you have not tried them yet. They are very good. At Built Bar, they are all about the taste. They make it taste delicious first and then figure out how to make it healthy. Go to Built.com and use promo code LOCK15 and get 15% off your order. Use promo code LOCK15 for 15% off at Built.com.
Okay, here we are with our last selection after making the trades. To this point, what have we done? We filled the last wide receiver need portion to have a four-man set with Jameson Williams, a guy that does have the speed on film to equal Tyreek Hill. Still doesn't have the change direction. Nobody has that combination that I've come across yet, but fills part of the void to go with MVS, to go with Juju and McColl. The question for me becomes, and Stu about this as I run down the rest of them, is there still room to add to that room for you or not? Because we came back with Boye Mafe at edge, developmental guy with burst, Quay Walker, who can play a little bit of everything linebacker-wise, but is raw and doesn't need time to develop. Same thing with Drake Jackson. He can actually drop. They had him do that at USC. I like him better in a power guy playing forward. They'll do that. Came back with James Cook. That was not our selection, folks, but welcome. You have another running back that can be explosive.
I actually like that pick regardless. I'm just going to say that.
Do you? Okay,
Yep.
Fair enough. Then we came back with two Cincinnati players back-to-back at 103 and 117 with Kobe Bryant and Brian Cook. Two of the totaling half of the Cincinnati backfield that was very, very good this last season in college football. And I think that bodes very well also. So where are you on what value we look for here, given this slew of picks?
I think it's pretty open. I think you could go any direction right now. I think you've addressed most of the big needs for Kansas City. So at this point, it's who's the best player available. And, obviously I don't think you're going to be looking at quarterback, but you could look at just about any other position.
I tend to agree.
Oh, man, Alec Pierce.
Yep, and that's where I was going to. Now, Jarrett Stearns, I still think he's a draftable grade. We have traded away all of our 5th, 6th, 7th round picks. We did have a couple of 4ths. They've been traded back and forth, but we're taking our second one here. So Stearns isn't going to make it this time. He may go undrafted and become a UDFA. He ran really well at his pro day, though, so just keep an eye on him. Alec Pierce, he was the one who stood out to me as well. If you're going to double dip at this position, this is another guy with size that has some speed, maybe didn't live up to his athletic ability in college, but gives you another target that I think can work in the Chiefs offense.
Yep, I like Alec Pierce.
Well, let's do it. And that will give us double dipping, the first selection and the last selection at wide receiver, 2 edges, both various grades of developmental. Same thing with a 3rd athletic linebacker, another running back that can be explosive, and then bolstering that secondary with some value picks from a CFP team in the Cincinnati Bearcats. Travis Kelce should be pretty happy with this. We end up with Alec Pierce as well from the Bearcats. So 3
Kelce's
from Travis Kelce.
Static.
Right? It's Cincinnati West at this point. And I think, again, this comes back to 3 players from Cincinnati, 2 from Georgia, 1 from Alabama. Those are all from the 4 CFP schools.
And I will say
this. That is a good haul with a lot of high-level competition.
I agree. And I will say this. I think that if that is all it costs you to trade up to 13 to get Jameson Williams, I think that Kansas City does that. Just got to throw that out there.
Yeah.
If they like him, obviously, I think he's probably the best wide receiver in the class. I know that's my opinion right now. I know other people have other opinions. You obviously like Garrett Wilson.
Yes. Yeah. And that's only because if Jameson had not getting hurt, he would be wide receiver 1, no problem. It's only because of the injury. And he's going to miss at least a quarter of the season, maybe up to a half if there's any kind of delay. But 3 years from now, that's not going to have an impact.
No, and the best part
doing enough.
Yeah, and the best part for me is he doesn't have to have a huge impact in year 1. This gives him the ability to have a huge impact in November and December when he can come back and be 100% healthy going into the playoffs. And I think that could be huge for Kansas City.
Now, in this process, what we did do in trading around to get 3 top 40 picks is we built ourselves a gap from 38 to 80. That's something that we'll have to watch as we go through another scenario. And folks, if you like this scenario, that's just what it is. This is just one option, one concept, one thing that could happen one day. We're trying to explore as many of those as possible. If you don't like this one, just wait till next Monday and we'll do another one. Run your own and let us know what the results are in the comments on YouTube. That's the fastest way to get to us. Then the Spotify and the iTunes reviews are the next way. So check all those out.
And I'll be doing a mock draft every day on Chiefs Corner until the draft happens. So just want to throw that out there. Did actually 2 on Sunday, so go check those out.
Rock on. You can also find those over at RGR Football. So, like, we're running through enough scenarios between all of us. Chris and I are going to have a very good idea of what the options truly are as we get there. So, check out RGR. Check out KC Chiefs Kingdom Corner. No, Kingdom Corner.
KC Chiefs Corner.
Okay, that's what it is. I'm getting lost here. We have too many @.coms lately. So thank you for your time. Make sure you like, sub, and hit the bell on YouTube. We're still growing over there. And even though you can watch this draft, you can also listen to it on all the audio platforms. We appreciate your time today. We'll be back with you tomorrow.